Hello students, welcome back to my videos economics classes. In this video we are going to study about law of demand. Now do you remember what do you mean by demand? Demand is the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing and able to buy at each possible price during a given period of time. That is quantity. Quantity demanded at what given price when all the other things are constant, like income, there is no change in income. Okay, and what is the effect of price on the quantity demanded? When price increases, the quantity demanded decreases, and when the price decreases, quantity demanded increases. Okay, now we are going to see the law of demand. So the price is given here and the quantity demanded is written here. Now say the price of one good is rupees 10 and the quantity demanded at this is 4 units. Okay, you have rupees 50 as your income. You are buying 4 units at rupees 10 per unit. Now if the price goes to rupees 20 per unit, what you will do? Your quantity demanded will fall. Okay, you will buy only 2 units. Now if the price falls up to rupees 5 per unit, what will you do? You can buy up to 10 units. So by this you understood, if the price increases, the demand falls, and if the price decreases, demand increases. Now I'll show you this in a tabular form and in a graph form. Here you can see as the price goes down, the quantity demanded increases. I have shown this in a tabular form. This is called demand schedule. It is tabular form showing various quantities demanded at different price levels during a given period of time. When we present this in a tabular form, we call it as demand schedule. And when this demand schedule is represented in a graphical form, it is called demand curve. I will explain this how to make a demand curve. So here you can see on the x-axis I have written different quantities demanded, and on the y-axis I have written the different price levels. Now we will follow this to make the demand curve. At price 5, what is the quantity demanded? It is 1. So at price 5, the quantity demanded will be 1. So you can draw like this. At price 4, the quantity demanded is 2. At price 4, the quantity demanded will be 2. At price 3, it is 3. At price 2, it is 4. And when the price goes to 1, it becomes 5, the maximum quantity. So you can see here, when the price rises, the demand falls. When the price is 5, the quantity is least demanded, and when the price is 1, the quantity demanded is the maximum. So if we join these points, we get a straight line sloping downwards. So this is the demand curve. Demand curve slopes downward due to the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. Here you can see when the price goes down, the quantity demanded increases, and this is the demand curve which slopes downward. Why? Because the inverse relationship. So let us name the demand curve DD. DD is the demand curve which slopes downward from left to right due to the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. So by this we can understand the law of demand. What is the law of demand? The law of demand states that the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, keeping other factors constant, Why are the factors constant? Because if there is a change in your income, let us consider a factor of income. If your income decreases, so this won't work. अगर आपका इनकम में चेंज होगा तो लॉ ऑफ डिमांड काम नहीं करेगा. सो व्हाट इज द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड? द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड स्टेट्स द इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द प्राइस एंड क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड, अदर थिंग्स रिमेनिंग कांस्टेंट. So I hope it is clear the law of demand. Now we are going to study the definition of the law of demand and the assumptions of the law of demand. So what is the law of demand? The law of demand states that the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, keeping other factors constant. We had understood this with the help of a demand schedule and demand curve. Okay, so law of demand must be clear. Assumptions. All law has some assumptions and some exceptions. So what are the assumptions of the law of demand? Number 1, income of the consumer remaining the same. Number 2, price of related good remaining the same. Number 3, there is no change in the taste and preference of the consumer. And number 4, there is no expectation of change in the price in the future. So all the factors should remain constant. The basic thing you should keep in mind, the law of demand will only work if all the factors are constant. If there is a change in any factor except the price, the law of demand won't work. Okay, so there is an inverse relationship. The demand curve is like this, sloping from left to right downward because of the inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. The only things that change in the law of demand are the price of the good and the quantity demanded. All the other factors are constant.